I wanted to talk for a couple of minutes about an aircraft delay you may have as a passenger. That's a good thing. It's a good delay and one that shouldn't frustrate you at all. I'm talking about de-ice, the need to remove frost, snow, or ice from the wings and control surfaces of the airplane. This is a procedure that's essential for the safe operation of any airplane, particularly a swept-wing jet. This problem happens primarily in the winter. You can get ice at different times of the year, but it happens mainly in the winter when snow and ice accumulates. What typically happens is that the air crew or certified ground personnel will do an inspection of an airplane, and if they see an accumulation of snow, frost, or ice, they'll remove it before takeoff. This is typically done with fluids, anti-icing fluids. But there's something called type 1 fluid, which is really kind of an ethylene glycol mix, somewhat similar to car antifreeze, but it's a different formulation, but does the same thing. And they'll spray a hot nozzle throughout the anti-ice fluid will go through a hot nozzle for the type 1 to remove buildup of frost, snow, or ice. And then what is very common on commercial jets is they'll apply another kind of fluid when everything is clear called type 4 fluid. And that will prevent any other falling precipitation from sticking to the airplane. It just sits on the fluid, and as the airplane goes down the runway, the fluid will just shear off the airplane, and it falls harmlessly on the ground. It's really, really quite ingenious. So it's generally a two-step process. Remove the existing buildup and then put down a preventative coat of type 4 fluid to keep the precipitation from forming again. That's if you've got an active snowstorm or stuff is coming down. There's a danger in not de-icing the airplane because the problem with a buildup of anything that contaminates the wing is that you get an uneven distribution of airflow going over the surface. Heavy ice or any kind of buildup can reduce the lift the wings produce and increase the drag, making flight at the extreme cases almost impossible or compromised. There have been a number of high-profile accidents in years past where that was a major factor. Ice in particular, particularly clear ice, can actually weigh a lot more. It can weigh a tremendous amount. On a heavy jet, you can have body ice that exceeds 10,000 pounds. And that may happen if an airplane is descended through a bit of an ice storm or some kind of where a buildup has developed during the approach. It may land with 10,000 pounds extra weight on it. So all that stuff has to go out before the airplane takes off again. If you see different colors, the type 1 is that it's like an orange mixture that looks like kind of like a snow cone. And if you get the type 4 fluid, that is the green mixture. That's the good stuff. And the type 4 green will prevent a buildup of wing contaminants, I would call them, for a period of time. It depends on what it is. If it's an ice pellet or snow grains or light freezing rain, you may have a holdover time of X number of hours. It could be from a few minutes to a few hours, but the type 4 fluid gives you protection generally for quite a few minutes. And they call that a holdover time at which that fluid becomes ineffective. And if you exceed that holdover time on the ground, by law, you have to go back and get de-iced again. That's a requirement, but that's a safety thing, and that's born as a result of a number of high-profile accidents, one involving an Air Florida jet. Air Florida doesn't even exist anymore, back in the early 80s. A lot was learned from that tragic accident, and it's worth it to take the time to do that. Sometimes it is a long process. If they have one truck, they typically surface one side of the airplane, then the truck has to reposition itself to the other side of the airplane. That takes a while. Ideally, they'll have maybe a car wash, call it a car wash scenario, where an airplane will go and stop in between an area where there are two trucks, a truck on each side, and they'll just do it in one sweep. It can be from a few minutes to 15 to 20 minutes. You may have to shut an engine down, start another one up, and there's specific procedures and data that has to be collected. So it's a long process. No one likes it. The flight crew does not like it at all. But it's something we all have to do. So just grin and bear it, take the delay, and arrive safely.